Today we're getting into the Dell Dimension 9150. We're going to be reviewing mine specifically. Now, something to know about these is that some came with Pentium D or the Pentium 4 processor. I have a Radeon HD 7570 for testing games because the HP Pavilion right there couldn't really run anything whenever I went to benchmark it on games. Common hard drives for these, well, they would typically come with either a 160 gigabyte hard drive or 250. And a little tidbit of information, your front IO and your power button are all run off of a ribbon cable right there. Now, mine came with a 375 watt power supply. I don't really remember what exactly they're called. I think disk drives or whatever. You can also boot your OS off of these if you have not a floppy disk, but a CD that has your OS on it. One thing I do like about this computer is how the CPU intake is set up, because it's basically just a big old fan and it just runs it into a giant heatsink, which comes out right here, and it just runs it straight down into the heatsink. It's about right over the processor. And another thing is the processors on these are angled like that, which is pretty neat. I'll go ahead and lay it down so it's a little easier for y'all to see, because the lighting it sucks. Yep, your drives and your power supply are on the very tippy top. Then you have some ribbon cables for these, obviously, because they're older. Here are the plugins for those. You get 3 plugins for those older CD drives or whatever they're called. And you get 2 hard drive plugins, and for whatever reason, a 6-pin connector. I have no idea what that goes to. You also have a little fan right here, which would be right here. It has a 3-pin connector, and your CPU fan is a 5-pin connector. Let me plug these in, or the CPU fan in. Anyway, come on. Usually it's pretty easy to get. It's just being a pain. There we go. That is plugged in. 5-pin, 3-pin. So this is technically reusable on new modern desktops, I guess you could say. This is a DDR2 setup. It is LGA 775 or LGA 775, however you say it. This computer does not come with integrated graphics, Ethernet, audio, and all that. And you have 5 USB ports on the back. You can support giant GPUs because this is a full-size case. I just have my low-profile GPU in here for right now. It has all of those. It has a full-size GPU slot. The front comes with a microphone jack, a headphone jack, and 2 USBs, your power button, and your 2 DVD drives up here, which really makes the top of this computer heavy because the power supply and all that heavy crap is on the top, which is obviously common on these because mine's Spyron right there has the same setup. Same with the Dell Astro case. But yeah, I'm pretty sure 2 512 DDR2 sticks that are 444 megahertz. I'm going to be running those in dual channel. The most RAM this computer can handle is 4 gigabytes, and with Windows XP, which is the standard operating system for this computer, most it would actually use is about 3.5 gigabytes. But a lot of my DDR2 is mixed RAM, so it'd be slower than just running these two sticks in dual channel. But yeah, it's a pretty solid computer, I'd say. I'll get into the specifics of my CPU later, before I get into game testing. But yeah, it's a pretty solid computer. This is back when Intel was, or back when computers were going from single core to dual core setups. This one, obviously, mine has a dual core processor. Though a lot of earlier computers, not specifically these, but earlier Dell computers, a lot of them were just single core, like my HP Pavilion right there. Even though that is a newer CPU than this one, which is kind of weird why they still produced single cores about 5 years after this CPU came out. It's pretty neat. But yeah, I'll get back to you about it. It has a 24 pin, a standard 24 pin, and a standard 4-pin CPU. Or not, yeah, CPU. And yeah, that is mainly the specifics of this computer. I'll get into CPU specs and then game test it on here. But yeah, since it has none, I would have to either use the GPU slot or PCIe slot video adapter to get any video display from this computer. It runs incredibly loud, so the rest of the video I may record the audio on my headset rather than with just my phone because it's that loud. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Here's our CPU. It is the Pentium 4 Prescott. That is the code name for it. Though, I specifically have the Pentium D 280. I'm pretty sure. No, wrong. I had the Pentium D 820. That is the specific name on the chip. Although it does not say it. It's a 2.8 gigahertz. It's clocked in at 2700 megahertz. And it's not really been used at all compared to the AMD Semprom. Whoop, I about dropped my phone. We have 2 cores, 2 threads. And this is basically when the world was moving from single core to dual core. This is about the beginning of it, or close to it. Now the motherboard, this is the specific one if you want to know. It's a Dell motherboard, as this is the Dell Dimension 9150 or the XPS 400. Those are the 2 names for it. Right now, we're using the Radeon HD 7550 or 7570. Good lord. This is going to be my new testing GPU until I can get a better power supply. Then I might use an R7 that I have sitting around. But this is going to be our game testing CPU or GPU. Should hold up good enough to play games that the Semprom couldn't, and I will go back over the HP Pavilion to give it a more fair shot against these other computers that I will be testing with a GPU. Right here is just something I didn't even know that CPU X had. It's a bench. I don't know how to do it. I'm sure we're gonna run that for I don't know if that's in minutes or whatever. But yeah, prime numbers is fast, and prime numbers fast and prime numbers slow is what we're going to be running on it. And we're going to see what happens by the end of it. It's going to take forever. I'm the one recording it, so I have to sit here and just watch. It's pretty entertaining though. I like doing content over these old computers. I do need to buy a tripod. just so I don't have to hold my phone and I can do shots like this without the phone being all over the place. Okay, this is what we scored on the benchmark. Let's see, 1.45 million in a minute on the fast version of prime numbers. I was just doing this to see what it does. I don't know exactly what it means. Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing either. I'm just finding out all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I've never done the benchmark. I haven't researched it. So yeah, let me know if that's good or bad. And we're gonna get on to the game testing now. I finally got Stardew Valley to launch. I've been trying a couple games and they just don't want to launch. I was trying to launch Leaf Blower Auto Revolution or whatever it's called. It's smaller than this. It doesn't take nearly as much, but it just refuses to boot. I don't know if you can hear it, but the whole reason this is working right now on this, also this is technically the XPS 400, I don't know if I've already said that or not, is because I'm using my Linux boot off from this computer. This one right here. I stole it from the Optiplex. And also, guess what come in the mail? A GTX 750 for the Optiplex, as it is much better than the Radeon HD 7570, which I'm actually using that to sort of help this, as this doesn't even have a display output. So I'm using that. But yeah, we'll get back to it in just a minute. Right here we have the West of Loathing. I've booted up a save file that I've been playing on. I'm a little decent ways into the game. I'm about an hour in the game. I haven't played in a while. But these are on the good settings and the highest resolution it will let me run. For about most of the time, it averages pretty good. When it loaded in the area, it said about 40 FPS. But it jumped straight back up to 60. Wrong key. But yeah, this game right here is pretty fun. It's a good game. I do recommend it. But yeah, this game runs pretty well. It has FPS dips from around 60 FPS all the way down to 40. And that's the FPS right now. As you can see, the lows are about 30, 38. Mid to high 30s. That's the FPS cap for this. I don't have VSync on or anything. I have the highest resolution and the best settings the game will let me run. So yeah, that's about how it does. Next game. Right here is going to be our TerraTech configuration. We're going to be running 1280 by 960. We're going to be running this on fast quality. I do like testing this game. It's pretty fun, and it's a good heavy game for older stuff like this. Simply because it's a quite intensive game for both the CPU and GPU, but more so on the CPU side. Yeah, when this loads in, we'll load into something, and yeah. And yes, I had to wait about half an hour for that to load, just for Steam to crash just about every time I do something. And I do have, I'm pretty sure, 4 gigabytes of DDR2 RAM in the system. So I have no idea what's going on. It's probably just because it's so old and I'm using more modern stuff. Okay, so, started as booted. This is a fresh file. I've already skipped past all the stuff you need. Averaging about 60 FPS at a 51% load on our CPU, which is, it's not bad. Oh, I forgot to right click to get stuff. Yeah, this is a fresh file I just started. just because need to be accurate. Okay, let's see. Let's get a bunch of stuff on screen. Can't even use spacebar, so you have to left click. But if you do anything, the FPS tanks. Watch. Or it did just a moment ago. I don't know why. Let's see if I can't get that to replicate. 59, 41. And that's with me just breaking grass. Yeah, it's managing around over a 50% load no matter what. It's gonna be you're gonna have a lot of frame lag, especially in the later game when you have a lot of stuff going on. I mean, this is not a total game breaker. It doesn't matter as long as you don't care about the settings. Because I don't even see, this is the resolution. It is locked. I haven't even messed with the settings. So these are just, Starter doesn't even really have settings other than resolution. Yeah, just this, it's still pretty good. Frames are usually around 60 no matter what you do, so it's pretty consistent and not bad. We'll get on to the next game. What happened was just about every game I tried either crashed, didn't load, or froze the entire system up. Stardew was the only one that I'm pretty sure actually launched out of the ones I tried. Which side is that? Oh my lord. Oh, there's a side. But yeah, out of everything I own on Steam, that was like the best game I could get to launch on the system. I did take the hard drive out simply because that belongs to my 3090 system. This GPU up here, it will continue to be used for other computers. And I do have one of these. This is a GPU I have, and this is the only computer I have that has the 6-pin that it needs. Though, this computer's too old to launch this card. Or something like that. I can't get it to work. It's an R7 260X. 2 gigabytes of, I'm pretty sure, GDDR5. It slightly outperforms the GTX 750, just by a little. And the GTX 750 doesn't even require external power. If anyone in the comments can give me any kind of explanation of why or what could be happening with this card, because I tried the HDMI and DisplayPort. I haven't gotten the chance to try DVI yet. But yeah, if anybody could let me know, I would appreciate it. Yep, this is it for the Dell Dimension. I hope everybody enjoyed the video and will either continue watching my videos or not. It's just a matter of preference. I mean, if you like my videos, you can watch them. If you don't, you don't. I'm pretty chill. I'm chilled out about that. But yeah, I do want to try this. I do want to either make a system around this or try it. Whenever I got it, this was bent even more. Let's see if you can see that it's still slightly bent down like how it was whenever I got it. And the bottom of it's slightly bent as well. But other than that, I took the fan shroud off and the heat sink and everything looked pretty alright. It's pretty dirty, that's about it. But yeah, next video should be out next Saturday. I had to rush to make this one because I was trying to get this system right here to work with Windows XP or 7 and actually be able to use games, or actually be able to use my Wi-Fi card. But I get no Wi-Fi card support on Windows XP or 7 with the specific chip I have, even though it's an external one. So sadly, I had to resort to using Linux, even though I wanted to keep it more accurate and use the original OS and all that. But yeah, I was trying to. That's why the video is going to come out late today. Hope you enjoyed.